Hello, welcome to Morris Money, where we give you stock tips in under 5 minutes. I'm your host, Willie. Today, I'm talking about if Ilus can become a billion-dollar company or if it's going to zero. Ilus released a shareholder update where they talked about multiple things, but John Paul Backwell's segment of the shareholder update had to be the most interesting. The most significant comment came from John Paul Backwell when he said, "We have been revising our acquisition strategy in favor of completing larger acquisitions with existing technology and patents in place with significant revenues. In some cases, huge revenues. We now have the potential to be a billion-dollar business by the end of 2023. That was a short summary, but what he's pretty much saying is that they're falling out of favor with smaller companies and in turn going for more experienced revenue-producing companies that are already established. And he also said that's why they haven't been releasing much news. These acquisitions obviously have a much more quiet-down approach to them, as the larger companies with larger revenues, and as we can see, they can't be talked about much until the acquisitions are completed. So in that case, I can understand why we haven't heard much from Ilus." Twan Morris Willie presents the most spine-tingling thriller of the year, Invasion of the Subscribers. There's only one way to survive this horror. Subscribing now to Morris Money.
If I hadn't seen this with my own eyes.
Something that does scare me, though, is the potential dilution that can come from acquisitions. Now, obviously, I love these big acquisitions, but again, it comes with watering down current shareholders. Ilus tweeted out July 30th, the 50 million shares were added. If you don't know, 53 million shares were added to the company's current share structure and were used to fund growth such as acquisitions, including a $300 million company being added to the Ilus Group. Exceptional value for such growth, as will be evident in our Q2 results. Speaking of Q2 results, that's why I want to segue into. I think I said it in my last video, but these Q2 results will definitely be important for everybody. 1. We'll start to see if these Ilus acquisitions have paid off, but we also get to have a look at their balance sheet, which as a shareholder in an OTC company like Ilus is definitely important. Stuff I want to see is, 1, their revenues, but I don't necessarily find that important. You see, the thing is, Ilus has been talking a lot about revenues recently, and while revenue producing companies are obviously important to Ilus as a whole, I want to see things like cash on hand and potential profitability, because it doesn't help if you have a $300 million revenue company being added to your portfolio if it's losing $350 million. So there's no profit to be made there. So I definitely want to see if these revenue generating companies are producing profit. And I'm not saying that producing losses are a bad thing. Over the long run, some of these companies can become profitable. But I want to see if these companies are producing profit and how much profit Ilus is producing as a company. So, I guess you're wondering, should you buy? I'm not against it. I see Ilus as a long-term stock. Now, I have seen people pull up their charts and do some technical analysis, and it's obviously true. Ilus has been in a downtrend, but over the long run, I see this as a perfect opportunity to buy Ilus. I haven't been buying Ilus in the past couple weeks, but I'm going to start buying again because, in my opinion, 9 cents is a great price for this stock. I'm going to keep buying because long term, I see the stock at least getting back up to its all-time highs around 50 cents. And in a couple years, potentially dollar range, multi-dollar range. But for right now, the most important thing we have for Ilus is waiting for the Q2 results, which I'll definitely talk about on the channel. So, will Ilus go to $1 billion or will it go to zero? I didn't really answer the question because I'm going to leave that up to you. Let me know your thoughts about Ilus below, and let me know, do you think it's going to be a $1 billion company or is it going to be another washed up penny stock? Please don't take this video as financial advice, and thank you for watching Morris Money.